James Charles, he preys on young straight men.
James Charles hit on Jeff Wittek. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Jeff Wittek recently said that James Charles would like send him text messages saying, come over, let's watch a movie. And I want to talk about that because a lot of gay guys do hit on straight guys. They like this straight man fantasy. And, you know, I'm going to talk a lot about gay man and the straight man fantasy. We're going to talk about that. But first, let me show you what Jeff Wittek had to say. And then we'll go to a word from our sponsor. And then we'll be back. And we'll talk about it. Okay? Or should we do a word from our sponsor first? We'll do a word from our sponsor first. And then we'll go into Jeff Wittek, what Jeff Wittek had to say. Because it's very telling, his experience dealing with James Charles, who has been accused of hitting on straight men multiple times. And at what point did he get the vibe, you know, that, you know, are you picking up what I'm putting down? You know, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Okay, here we go. We'll roll it. Big thank you to Skully Life. Yes, they're sponsoring this video. They have amazing gummies. This is their Delta 8 500 mg orange flavor. They also have Delta 8 in this flavor right here, which is blue raspberry 500 mg. Be careful. These things are very potent. Delta 8. How about Delta 9? They have Delta 9 200 mg. Now, these are in grape and cherry. Not only that, but wait, they also have the THCP gummies, you guys, in blue raspberry. Do not sleep on them. It's by my good friend. It's a family-owned business, so definitely check them out and support. Let me show you what one of my favorite looks like. It says Wisconsin homegrown. This is the orange one, Delta 8. This is in 500 mg. Now, when it comes to gummies like this, hold on. Oh, it smells so good. When it comes to gummies like this, I just want to say this. Start small. Like, do not put this whole thing in your mouth, like, unless you know yourself. But take, like, maybe just a little piece, and then maybe next time take, like, a half, and then next time, you know what I'm saying? And work your way up and do that gradually. But just eating a whole bunch, it's not, don't do that. On the back of it, it says, adults take 1.5 gummies every 6 hours as desired. Keep out of reach of children. You know the tea with that. I'll put the website in the description down below so you can check them out and find out all the tea about that. But I'm just so excited to have a good friend, family-owned business, show support. If you guys are into gummies and edibles, whether it's Delta 8 or Delta 9, this stuff right here, I know you're gonna like it a lot. I mean, look, they have official merch, okay? This is everything. But all that to say this, guys, definitely check it out. I'll put the link down below. I'm not gonna steer you wrong. I know that it's becoming like very overwhelming. Like when we go to dispensaries or you go to places that sell gummies, there's so many different brands and variations. It's kind of hard to decide which ones are great, and separating from like decent to mid to like kick-ass, badass ones. Definitely try these right here. This is the Skully Life. Check it out. Anyways, let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Thank you guys for sponsoring my video. Thank you, Skully Life. I love you guys so much. And definitely check them out. Look at it. I mean, you can't go wrong with these. I'm just shocked. I mean, they have Delta. You know, some places don't even have Delta 9. Are you serious? And then the fact that they have the THCP gummies. What? All right, anyways. Get out there. Check them out, guys. Let's get on with this drama.
You know, James Charles, he preys on young straight men. And he used to text me shit like, I want you to come over and watch a movie. And I'm like, where are you getting these vibes from that I'm that type of guy at all that would do that? But
it's so crazy how many like gays I know in LA that are like that. Like I've never really like psychologically unpacked the thought process of like, is it wrong as a gay? Like even some of my close gay friends, how they'll like hit on you,
yeah,
and they know you're straight. But is there just a line of like it's fine if they jokingly hit on you, but if it gets too weird and you've denied it one time, then after that, obviously it's like wrong, right? Yep. Came to the conclusion.
Yeah.
There we go.
So like he asked me to come over to his house and watch movies and shit, and he would text me weird shit, and I was just like laughing
what else?
off.
What did he say?
I never entertained it. And
cut my asshole hair, daddy.
I went and like did collabs with him because I was trying to grow my career, and I relate to those Kevin Spacey guys. But at the end of the Kevin Spacey documentary, they're going to release a celebrity that's never spoken about it, and he's a massive celebrity now, and that's like the cliffhanger for the end, and it's weekly episodes.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet, and at the end of it, somebody's going to come out, and I think it's like who do you think it is?
David Dobrik. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No,
I need to watch it.
How did he make it? He didn't have any talent.
How did he?
It was his friends that fucking people liked.
Yeah, it's just sad. No, it's just...
Look, David's charismatic. He's a piece of shit sociopath. But I can see why people stuck by him, because he was talented. He had a format that worked at the time. Yeah, now TikTok is basically what the vlogs were.
I was thinking about this the other day with David, like with me, because I was thinking, it was like I lived in David's house at one point, like on Terryview. Like I was
Yeah.
close enough friends with David that it was like I lived in his house, right? And I was thinking to myself, and I was like, what drew me to him? And what it was, I wonder if his friends also felt this way. It was like I felt like David never really liked me or like really ever took the time to get to know me. And I used to love to like chase some people's approval that I felt like were more successful than me.
That's Hollywood. That's the Me Too
Yeah.
movement. People abusing their power, and they know they can. When you get to a level of ego like that, you think you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I know, it's so scary.
Like, I was so happy at that time in my life. I had this great group of friends. We all shot content together, and then the fucking accident happened. Natalie forged my fucking accident report saying that I was driving the crane. Do you know that?
Yes.
Did I ever say that on the internet publicly?
I don't think so.
Should probably save it for court.
Yeah, how does that? So he can just keep paying to like elongate the court time?
Yeah, he's fucking off and just getting fucked up partying.
It's just crazy what people, like what money really can do. Because I just found out that like even that P. Diddy video, he paid the hotel $50,000 to never release it. Like, and 50 bands to P. Diddy is like $5. Like it's like the same, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's just money and power are such crazy like drugs.
Yeah, and
It's
so
sad.
I had his back after, because, you know, like he was a charismatic like guy, and he was a good like not a good, I guess you, whatever. I don't know.
I just watched Baby Reindeer show on Netflix, and at the end of the show, the guy like he goes back to like his abuser essentially. And I was thinking to myself about even just times of my life or certain things like that. I think that people see abuse or toxic relationships from the outside, presume that it's so easy to cut and dry walk away from a situation. But like a lot of times in relationships you have with abusers, like it's not like just one day you're like, oh, goodbye. Like you go back, or you still have these patterns where it's like, you know what I mean? Like you were still trying to be friends with him or wanting whatever it was. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
I can tell you exactly where it changed. After the article of the sexual assault that came out, and was like, David was like, I'm going to go down with the ship. I tried defending him. You know, I was like, I went on H3 and made the most embarrassing interview of my life that eventually turned into something good, and it became, you know, Jeff FM. And we have a great relationship now, and he opened my eyes to, yeah, there's kind of still two in there. But just seeing the way he felt about it, like you knew about this situation a week after it happened, and we're all part of your crew, and you don't tell any of us? Are we like lesser people than you, that you can't fill us in on a girl was assaulted? David's excuse was, oh, she just wants clout. And he said the same shit about me.
it's so sad.
So I know, like, that girl, what happened to her is way worse than what happened to me. She has to live with that. But she was anonymous. She didn't want clout. She put a fake name in that article. And you knew, and you never fucking told us.
I think it's a very just easy narcissistic abuser scapegoat. Not to keep bringing it back to that Diddy shit, but he literally, until this video of him beating her came out, was saying like she just wants money, yada yada yada. But then it was like the video came out, so he had to apologize. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just like the textbook narcissist scapegoat.
You could see it in their...
They just want fame. They just want clout.
Yeah, you could see it in their apology videos. David stopped doing the podcast because you could see through him that nothing he's saying is real. We're in a hot tub talking about fucking
The craziest
God knows
shit.
what.
That's always how it's so funny. I imagine today I was like, we're shooting in Hawaii. We're gonna have the most like peaceful podcast. Like they're so Hawaiian, and then we just did the same shit.
Okay, grab a snack and come on back. So let's talk about the vibe, right? I do think that there's a lot to say about certain gay men who fantasize or fetishize straight men. Okay, but then at the same time, this is not all. Because I know that there are a lot of gay men who like feminine men or things of that nature, right? It's confusing, but you just have to know yourself to know what you want. You know, the other day I asked my friend of mine, I'm like, so what kind of guys do you like? Do you like twinks? And twinks is just like a label where just means like guys who are just like very petite, small, and young, I guess. And he was just like, you know what? I just like what I like. And I was like, Oh, okay. And I think for a lot of people, they either know their type specifically or they just like what they like, right? I think most people just like what they like, and there's no rhyme or reason, but it falls within like a scope that they do have a type, right? And a lot of people don't ever want to admit it, but if you look at past behaviors of who they've been dating and talking to, they do have like somewhat of a type, right? They'll don't deny it, they will deny it or whatever. But anyways, all that to say this, right? I do want to say, fetishizing straight men, I have seen people do it in front of me. I have seen guys chase straight men. I have always just was under the conclusion that was told to me from a dear old friend. It's like, don't go after the straight guys because you're gonna get your heart broken. Even if they're showing interest in you, you're gonna get your heart broken. Don't put too much effort into it. Just run, right? Like the whole DL thing, like down low, it's just like you're wasting your energy. You might have a great time, you might hook up, but at the end of the day, it'll never be nothing serious. Right? They're gonna want to have kids and date a woman or whatever the case may be, right? And the thing is, like, I think especially today's day and age, a lot of men, straight men, are more fluid than they ever were before. That they're like, well, let me try it once, or like, let me see what this is about. And maybe they're like trying things, and the other person's getting like mixed signals, and they're not always 100% like transparent and saying like, hey, I just want to try this, see what it's like. A lot of people don't say that, but it gets mixed up in the tornado of things whenever the other person is showering them with gifts and attention. And if James Charles was showering Jeff Wittek with gifts and money and attention, then it would cause Jeff Wittek to stay around longer. Not that he did, but if you insert another straight guy, you could see how like some straight men would just, they're straight, they don't like James, but they're around for the perks because they don't want to say no, and it's unhealthy for James to do it, and it's unhealthy for the other person to continue to allow it to happen. And so with that being said, I don't think it's good on neither part of them. I think Jeff Wittek was smart to just like ignore it and move on, where a lot of other straight guys would have like continued the thing for the perks, right? And it's sad because one person generally really cares for them, and the other person might care for them, but they're just around for like gifts and money and things like that, what they're gonna offer them. And it's just, you have to like put your focus and your attention on something that really benefits you. And that's hard to say, because if James really, really likes what he likes, so let's just say he really likes straight men. Hold on, my camera's gonna die, hold on. If James Charles really likes straight men, then he's just going after a lot of heartache, right? It'll be different if the guys were gay and maybe they didn't like James like that. I can understand how like if James hung around long enough and just was a solid friend and just offer them true friendship, maybe there might be a change of heart, but at least you get to be their friends, right? And I always say this, like there have been several people in my life that I have really liked and they like me back. And I was like, it's okay. I get it, but you know what? I just want to be in your life in a positive way. Whether that means being in a relationship with you or that means just being your friend, I just want to be in your life in a positive way. And if you can move with that energy, I think that speaks volumes. And I think that when James, if he's looking at to conquer straight men like Jeff Wittek, to have this fantasy, right? I think James, one, is wasting his time and energy because he could be putting that into something else. It seems like a game for him, right? And I get like people like to have fun, they like to chase and stuff like that. And lately, and this is something I've been doing, is that like I've been reading and learning about attraction. Like, don't chase, attract. And you will attract people to you if you know what you're doing. Don't chase, attract. And somebody out there needs to hear this. Stop texting that guy so many times. Stop doing the most. One of you guys needs to hear this, okay? Drop a sun emoji in the chat, a sun, okay? Listen, one of you guys needs to hear this. Stop chasing. Focus on attracting, right? One of the laws that I've learned in life is the less you chase something, the more it's gonna run away from you. So don't chase it. Let it come to you, okay? Don't text that guy anymore. No. Stop. You've done enough, sweetie. Believe me, sweetie. We got enough to feed the needy. Don't chase him. Let him come to you, right? You just hang out in the shade with a glass of lemonade. Post that you're busy. Post stuff that you're doing, that you're interested in, fun things, pictures, cute pictures. They will come to you. You will attract. Do not chase, okay? So all that to say this, guys, is focus on, and this is a message to James Charles, is stop chasing straight men because you're gonna get your heart broken. So I'm a little bit older than you, James. Trust me, do not chase straight men. They're stupid, okay? Men are stupid. We're gonna agree with that. They're just dumb. You could be the best person for them and they just won't see it, you know? Just focus on yourself. Focus on realigning your energy, on maybe attracting instead of chasing. And it really gives gay people a bad rap when they're like, oh, gay people just want to turn straight guys gay or stuff like. First of all, the straight guy was already having thoughts. So let's leave that there. But all that to say this is, it really is sad that here we are, another person is coming forward and talking about James Charles and hitting on them. It's bad for Jeff Wittek to say to James Charles, no thanks, no. Like, in what did Jeff Wittek do to get James Charles to the point where James Charles would say, want to come over and watch movies? That's very intimate, right? And intimacy is not about sex, because there are like 7 layers of intimacy, and actually like the sex one is the smallest, last part of there. To me, you want to know what intimacy is for me? It's good conversation. It is understanding somebody on another level than just in the bedroom, right? And I'm not talking about a dinner either. It's just like, it just happens, right? Sometimes it happens, and like I told this to my friend the other day. I was like, hey, you really want to get to know somebody? That $200, $300, $400 that you're going to spend taking them to dinner, whether Nobu or Mastro's or some steakhouse, whatever, that same amount of money, take them grocery shopping. And he was like, what? I'm like, trust me, I tried it the other day. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, the same amount of money. I actually save money because when I go out to eat, baby, let me tell you, the filet mignon, the mashed potatoes, we're going there, right? And then if they like to indulge in alcoholic beverages, I'm like, can you bring in that Japanese whiskey, the old one? Like, stuff like that. Can you give them a 1942 a shot for them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to get all dressed up in my diamonds and pearls and go out to a very luxe dinner. Love that. But what I was noticing is that the dates I would go on, they would love it. They liked it. I was just getting bored. I'm like, same thing, different guy. Like the dinner dates were just, they're getting kind of boring for me. So I tried this. I refocused energy and I was like, let me try this. Let me try taking somebody, the same amount of money I was gonna spend out to eat, let me take them grocery shopping to where they wanna go, right? Which, not where they wanna go, where they routinely go. I would take that back. And they said, I'm not gonna say the name of the store, but they said, yeah, let's go here. Because that's where I usually shop at for my groceries. I'm like, all right, cool. And I usually said, hey, you want to hang out? They're like, yeah. I was like, cool. Let me take you grocery shopping. They're like, what? I'm like, I'm for real. You need groceries? They're like, yeah, like, let's go. They were so down. They were shocked, but they were down. We went grocery shopping. I literally tell you guys that it was a date. Was the most intimate date I've had in a while. Because I got to see every item that they chose, that they picked out, right? And I would come back some of the items and I would say, oh, no, that's a really good choice. Compliment it. But can I suggest something? Try this one. It's organic, it has healthier ingredients. I was coming down to things like, don't get that one, get this one. Even though this one is organic right here, they're sprayed both with pesticides. I said the pesticides that are sprayed on the organic versions are FDA approved pesticides, right? As opposed to those harmful chemicals. I was like, but just try it. You know, and there I was like, you know, work on releasing control and just trying new things. And I was like, look, I'll buy both of them. Boom, boom, right? And then organic eggs. I was like, try the cage-free organic eggs. Like stuff like that. It was kind of like that. So with that being said, like I really got to get to know where this person's head's at, their choices with the food they're putting in their body, and the bill came out like $150. I would have spent way more at dinner. Trust me, way more. And I left with the sense of extreme intimacy because we're not only are we just like walking down the aisles, but it was walking at a slow pace, really talking, having conversations, way better than at a dinner, and picking items and having conversations about the items and telling jokes. Like it was a total vibe. Like I really enjoyed it. And so when it comes to James Charles, his level of intimacy with Jeff Wittek wanting to watch a movie, let's just be honest. James Charles did not want to just watch a movie. Nor was James Charles trying to really get to know Jeff Wittek. If he was really trying to get to know Jeff Wittek, he would have said something outside of the bounds of let's watch a movie. Like get to know him, stuff that he likes to do. Go to a place he likes to go to, right? And really get to know him that way. like come down off your high horse and like really get to know somebody. And that's what James Charles just doesn't do with these guys. I think that James Charles leads with his power. He wants to lead with money and stuff like that. And I get that James Charles will always have most money more than most people. And so he'll always have to come out of pocket and pay. I get it. I get the gig. But when you're focusing on someone who has like maybe lesser than you, you can see how it comes across as that there's a power dynamic, right? Which that's like, that's tricky waters to navigate when you're just maybe like a nice person and you're just being nice to somebody and they think you like them. I mean, I've had that situation too where I'm just being nice to somebody and they think that I like them. And I'm like, no. I'm just being nice. Don't take my kindness for me flirting with you, okay? Like, no. Okay, anyways. But anyways, all that to say this, guys. Let me know what you think about that drama in the comments down below. I hope you guys learned something from this. But there's another instance, and I was kind of shocked to find out that James Charles hit on Jeff Wittek. I was kind of shocked about that, but that's just me. Anyways, let me know what you think about that drama in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys later. Mwah.